Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. Today is Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. I don't usually like to start the show with something scary, but I'm faced with no other choice today. Florida has become self-aware.
What? We've been worried about this for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just like Skynet, Florida has become self-aware. And if they figure out time travel, we are all hosed. The Florida games are real. And they are awesome. Look, if we're being honest, a lot of people, including us, we make fun of Florida a lot for how ridiculous it is. And Florida knows it. And we know this because the second annual Florida Games happened this past weekend.
Is it Florida Games or Florida Man Games?
Are there two of them?
I don't know.
This is the annual Florida Man Games.
Okay.
Yes. Whew. I'm like, my God, if there's two of them, I don't know if we can handle that much awesome at one time. Although I am curious to see what happens for the Florida Women Games, or heaven forbid the special Florida Games, which aren't they all?
I was about to say, seems redundant.
They're all special. The second annual Florida Games happened this past weekend, which tells us a couple of things. One, Florida is self-aware. And two, there's going to be more of them.
Yeah.
They're already planning for next year.
Sure, yeah.
The second annual Florida Man Games were a huge success. They went down last Saturday near St. Augustine, Florida. Hey, I've been there. I was there a couple of years ago, a couple of nights near Christmas. They're pretty light. The first Florida Man Games were February 24th, 2024. And they had the second annual on this past weekend. They brought back a few popular events from the first Florida Man Games, like the evading arrest obstacle course. That's where you escape from handcuffs, throw an alligator through a drive-through window, and steal a catalytic converter, all while being chased by actual police officers. I want it said that we didn't write this. This is what they're actually doing in Florida at the Florida Man Games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also back this year, the weaponized pool noodle mud duel. It's just like Joust from American Gladiators, but in a baby pool. And the jousting pools are made of pool noodles and duct tape.
Yes, this sounds about right. This is all tracking.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds perfect so far.
Also back for the second annual Florida Man Games, the Florida Sumo Cage Match and Beer Chug. That's where you wear an inner tube, fight someone while holding a pitcher of beer, and try not to spill it. The loser can still get points by chugging the winner's remaining beer. So those were the returning events for the annual Florida Man Games. Just like the regular Olympics, the Florida Man Games has added some new events this year. New events this year included Hurricane Party Prep, the Grocery Aisle Brawl.
Okay.
It's like medieval jousting, but in shopping carts. And if no one falls, you just fight it out for hurricane supplies. I remember doing that in the parking lot of an empty Food Lion, jousting with grocery carts. But obviously, Florida takes it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Another new event this year, human beer pong. You're in a big inflatable bubble, and you have to get past someone. Then you jump in a pool that looks like a big red Solo cup. The loser has to chug beer, whiskey, or bong water. Ugh.
Who picks that one?
I don't know who's in charge of that mix.
Yeah. I'll take the beer.
Other attractions at this year's Florida Man Games included axe throwing, lawnmower races, a mechanical gator instead of a bull, and a best mullet contest.
Is this Florida man becoming self-aware, or is this some just Florida Darwinian survival of the fittest?
Yes.
I mean, are they looking for a new leader?
Very possible.
This is how they thin out the herd.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like I know where we should do our road show next year.
Yes.
And have
For sure.
like a treehouse trip.
Yeah.
We all go to attend the Florida Man Games 2026. If we're all still here. Because let's be honest, if the state of Florida does figure out time travel, we're all going to die.
And I personally want to be the first person of color at the Florida Man Games, because it's just all you guys. It has to be, especially when you get to the mullet.
I don't think so. I think it's very possible that the Florida Man Games will already have some people of color involved. It just may not be in the capacity you want.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Time now to talk to Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. To get a free roof inspection, call him today, 833-COOK-DFW, 833-COOK-DFW. Daniel, I'm pretty sure you know what's in your homeowner's insurance policy because it's a huge part of your business and your life. But most of us probably have no idea what our actual coverage is, do we?
Most people have no clue what they pay for on insurance because they expect that their insurance is the insurance. They expect that they're going to have a baseline insurance that they have to have based on their mortgage requirements or whatever else. Or they went and saw somebody and they said, yeah, we can get you at $3,000 a year for insurance. No problem. What they forget to tell you sometimes is that, well, that means we're going to have to take your deductible from 1% to 3%. Or we're going to have to change your coverage from replacement cost to actual cash value. Or we're going to take away half of your riding coverage or code upgrade. And this is boring. Nobody wants to read your policies. It's 32 pages of blah, 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 blah. So make sure, one, I highly urge everybody, get an agent that's willing to sit down with you and discuss coverages and how much coverages change your premiums. And two, if you don't understand it now, make sure you get that understanding before something major happens at your home. A few months ago, we had a client that called us out. They had a ton of damage. They were shocked that they found out they had a $12,000 deductible on their coverages now. You don't want to be that guy. Don't be shocked. Know what you're walking into because sometimes it may not even be worth it to file a claim. Maybe you just want to pay out of the pocket because if you have to have more than $12,000 worth of damage, sometimes you won't. So now make sure you know your coverages. Make sure you get an agent that will walk you through it.
Great free advice from Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration because he sees it and deals with it every single day. His main mission is to help you, the homeowner. So give him a call today, 833-COOK-DFW, 833-COOK-DFW, or the website, cookdfw.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment is brought to you by Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. To get your free roof inspection, call 833-COOK-DFW. And when you call, make sure you tell them that you heard about them here inside the Treehouse, because this month, proceeds from work that Cook DFW does for Treehouse listeners will be donated to the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation. So give them a call today, 833-COOK-DFW, for all your roofing, restoration, and remodeling needs. 833-COOK-DFW, or the website cookdfw.com. Dan O'Malley, that's me, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma inside the Treehouse today, Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Now that we know about the Florida games and what we're going to be doing this time next year, which is going to the third annual Florida Man Games, and with any luck, we will be the Grand Marshals.
I think you mean Grand Wizards. I think that's
all right. Well, Trey and I will be there. Raj, I'm not so sure about what you'll be doing. So anyway, that's what we'll be doing probably around this time next year. It's important to dream big, folks. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's some things going on in other states that are equally as crazy. I'm talking about the state of Connecticut. A high school honors graduate is suing the school district because she can't read or write.
Mhm.
I'm going to say that again. A high school honors student is suing her school district because she's illiterate. Wow. This is from Connecticut. She graduated in June, and she's now suing her former high school, claiming she cannot read or write and is failing college as a result of her alma mater's poor curriculum. Her name is Alicia Ortiz. She was born in Puerto Rico, moved with her family to Hartford, Connecticut when she was 5 years old. This is a good time to remind people that Puerto Rico is a United States territory. So if your first thought was, well, illegals need to learn the language, Puerto Rico is part of the United States. Now that you know that, backwards asshat, someone needed to hear that. We all know it. There's at least one guy that needed to hear that. Now moving on. She was born in Puerto Rico, moved with her family to Hartford, Connecticut when she was 5. She graduated through the school program despite reading at a kindergarten or maybe first grade level.
Wow.
As a sixth grader. Yeah. As a sixth grader, she was reading at a kindergarten or first grade level. And during her last month at Hartford Public High School, after she disclosed she was attending the University of Connecticut in the fall, she completed additional testing that revealed she had dyslexia and required explicitly taught phonics, fluency, and reading comprehension. The first of which is taught in kindergarten, by the way. She says, I didn't know English very well. I didn't know the rules of the schools. There were a lot of things that they would tell me, and I let myself go by what the teachers would tell me because I didn't understand anything. She said she used apps to translate text to speech and speech to text to complete her assignments. Wow.
How did she apply for college?
AI.
Probably. There's an app for everything. And there's AI for all that stuff these days. After
That's
testifying about her experience as an illiterate high school student during a May 2024 city council meeting, she said officials began clamoring to ensure she received her diploma. Man, they really take that No Child Left Behind, to the next level. She and her family are now suing the school district for negligence, as well as her special education case manager for negligent infliction of emotional distress. Well, there's always that. She says, I'm a very passionate person and I like to learn. Call me crazy, but if you're a passionate person and you like to learn and you graduate high school without knowing how to read or write, I think a little bit of personal accountability is in store for you. Okay? Because you are in the one place where learning is welcomed. Okay? Just saying. Sometimes you have to want to learn. The learning cannot be forced upon you. Okay? She says, people took that opportunity away from me to learn, and now I'm in college, and I want to take advantage of that because this is my education. But she can't read or write, so she says she's failing college.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll get the job done.
It really does at a certain point when you're in class. If you don't understand something, there really does need to be some personal responsibility. You need to raise your hand and say, I don't get it.
Yes.
Now, if you say that to a teacher a bunch of times in a row, it's going to be very annoying, but you need to press them on the issue.
Yeah. But I think there might be a little, embarrassment behind it. Maybe that's why nothing was said. Like, I remember years and years and years ago, Dexter Manley, who used to play for the Commanders now, I guess, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He was presented an award and they asked him to read the inscription and he couldn't read or write.
Whoops.
So, and he was, football legend.
Yeah, there were plenty of, especially athletes going back 80s, 90s, early 2000s that they didn't crack a book in high school or college. And so, yeah, it's sad, but
it's like Charles Barkley's famous for, I didn't come to Auburn to go to school. I came to Auburn to play basketball. And who said, I didn't go to Ohio State to play school.
It's very difficult for a lot of us when people say their quiet part out loud.
Yes.
Because there was, at my high school, there was a bit of a controversy that surprised none of us on the football team, because there was an outstanding athlete at our school. When I was a sophomore, he was a senior. He was an amazing athlete, and we were all pretty surprised that. Let me start this over. We weren't surprised that he had a bunch of scholarship offers. We were surprised that his SAT score was high enough to get into some of them, like Baylor.
Wow.
Because a lot of schools, even though they may offer an athletic scholarship, still have those minimum requirements that you have to pass to even be able to accept an athletic scholarship. I don't know what the threshold was at the time for Baylor, but whatever it was, we were shocked that he had tested above it.
Well, there was always a minimum of a 700 on the SAT for college admission. Baylor was no different.
And we were all surprised that he hit more than that.
You get like 550 for you getting your name right or something.
Yes. We were all surprised that he even got that right. So when the news broke that someone was busted taking the test for him after the fact, none of us were surprised. Everyone in the locker room goes, knew it. Yeah, we knew that. Yeah, with that.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you love guns or hunting, you're going to love Defender Outdoors. Defender Outdoors Shooting Center is 43,000 square feet of guns, gun range, and gun fun. Firearms, ammo, apparel, accessories, and more. Have a bachelor party, birthday, or team building event? All-inclusive packages available for endless entertainment. Training classes are added weekly, and private instruction is always available. Come see why Defender has been voted the best gun range in North Texas 5 years in a row. Visit us at defenderoutdoors.com. Defender Outdoors. Are you a defender?
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Defender Outdoors, Fort Worth's premier indoor gun range. Defender Outdoors in Fort Worth, the premier gun range in Fort Worth, open to the public. Also, memberships are available, which unlocks some very cool things. And when you go shopping at Defender Outdoors, be sure and tell them Treehouse. That's a special code you can use both in-store and online for special discounts at Defender Outdoors. Defender Outdoors in Fort Worth and Shop online at defenderoutdoors.com. Proud new sponsor of the Treehouse Show. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. There's been lots of strife between the United States and Canada lately, and we're not going to get into that specifically, but we are going to get into something very specific about Canada and its eye surgeons that is very troubling. We have Trey to thank for this story, by the way. I just want that said. Hang on. I just lost my note. Where did it go? Hang on. There it is. From the That Doesn't Go There files, Canadian surgeons have implanted teeth into eyes to restore sight.
Explain, please.
Yeah. I knew there'd be some curiosity that came with that headline. I'm going to do my best to shed some light on this for you, Raj. Last week, Brent Chapman underwent one of Canada's first ever tooth-in-eye surgeries. For the record, I'm pretty sure I did that in kindergarten, but it wasn't because of a surgery. It was because of an ill-placed 2x4. Anyway. Brent Chapman underwent one of Canada's first ever tooth-and-eye surgeries. While it might sound like something straight out of science fiction, this jaw-dropping procedure has been restoring sight in other parts of the world for decades. Dr. Greg Maloney, an ophthalmologist and surgeon at Mount St. Joseph Hospital in Vancouver, told the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation it is a rare operation that most people haven't heard of, even if you are an eye surgeon. Yeah. It's called osteoodontokeratoprothesis, also known as UKP. This uses a patient's own tooth to craft a support structure for an artificial cornea. The operation is broken down into two parts. First, the ophthalmologist, Dr. Maloney, and his team removed one of Chapman's teeth, shaved it down into a rectangle, drilled a hole, and popped a plastic optical lens inside of it. The tooth then got a temporary home in his cheek, where it's going to stay for about 3 months. There's some really, really weird going on north of the border. The tooth. That's
what you get with.
What is it, Raj?
I'm going to say that's what you get for free healthcare. You get a tooth in your eye.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but before it goes in your eye, it's going to live in your cheek.
Yeah. For 3 months. Okay.
Dr. Maloney says the tooth doesn't have any connective tissue that I can actually pass a suture through to connect it to the eyeball. So the point of implanting it for 3 months in the cheek is for it to gain the layer of supporting tissue. During the same procedure, Dr. Maloney prepared the eye by removing the top layer of the eye surface and replacing it with a soft tissue graft from inside Chapman's cheek. He's just opening up this dude's whole head. God, it's sort of like when they open up the alien bio suit in Independence Day. Just, ugh.
You're going to find out this guy's not a doctor.
On his business card, the doctor is in quotations.
He has no license to practice any of this.
He's not a Canadian doctor. He's just a guy that says he's a doctor and happens to be in Canada. He says the graft needs, Dr. Maloney says the graft needs a few months to heal so it can support the implant. Dr. Maloney said the initial procedure went smoothly and the patient will be monitored closely over the next few months. When it's time for the second surgery, the patient's tooth will be removed from his cheek and then placed into his eyeball. Then his team pulled back the graft, removed the damaged iris and lens, sew the tooth with its new optical lens into the eye. The graft is then resewn over the eye, leaving a small hole for the lens to peek through. Wow. The end result is a pink eye with a small black circle through which Chapman will hopefully be able to finally see again. So there you have it.
That's a lot. That's a lot to want to see. if that's the option, like, hey, we're going to take your tooth, put it in your cheek, and 3 months later, you might be able to see through this. I'd be like, you know what? I'll stick with blind.
It's easier to get chicks.
It just sounds like a lot of work.
It's easier to get chicks when you're blind versus when you have a bicuspid sticking out of your eyeball. Or heaven forbid, a molar in your cheek. On your cheek, I should say.
Yeah, that's just it just sounds like a fake. Like it just sounds like a scam. Like, we're gonna give you your vision back, but
you know what
cost
though?
you a tooth.
Butt lift surgery is real. Why not tooth and eye to cure blindness?
That's I don't have an argument for that.
No,
it's
you
true.
can't.
Yeah, Brazilian butt lift, tooth in your eye.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Experts
you can blend in.
The doctor does say, don't get too excited just yet. The procedure is not risk-free. He says, with any ocular surgery of any kind, there's a chance that we could introduce infection and lose all of our vision, along with that one tooth.
So you're still blind and you're toothless now? I'm talking about insult to injury.
Again, you're right, Raj. That's what you get with that free health care.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
What is it, Trey?
You also get an invitation to the Florida Man games.
That's the official ophthalmologist of the Florida Man games.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you like the Treehouse show, then you will love us on social media. So give us a follow on social media. At Treehouse On Air is our handle across all the major social media platforms. That's Treehouse. That's at Treehouse On Air to follow us on social media. At Treehouse On Air. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. We were just talking about the Canadian surgeon who took a blind man's tooth, put a visual apparatus in it, stuck it in his cheek to ferment basically for 3 months, and then is going to stick it in the guy's eye, thus reportedly curing his blindness. If I were in that patient's shoes, after the doctor described the procedure to restore my sight by putting a lens into one of my teeth, taking the tooth out of my head, putting a lens in it, and then grafting it to my face for 3 months, and then after 3 months, sticking it in my eye, my only question would be, can't I just get a dog?
How's the other eye?
There's something to be said about that patch.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, I mean, after hearing that surgery description, can I just get a seeing eye dog?
Yeah, I would just also be like, can I have one eye. I'm okay. I don't have depth perception, but it's okay. Like, I'll
Better than a
manage.
tooth in my face.
Yeah.
Anyway, just weird to me. Are you guys, Trey, Raj, are you guys big on forgiveness? Do you believe in forgiveness?
Depends.
Okay. Well, one woman believes in forgiveness very fiercely. A woman not only forgave the man who ran her over with his car, but she also married him.
That's love.
Is it? A 23-year-old Chinese woman was hit by a speeding car driven by a 36-year-old man named Li in the Hunan province. Despite breaking her collarbone, she forgave him, and her family chose not to press charges. The man visited her daily in the hospital, and they grew very close. 3 weeks later, she confessed her love for him. He actually initially declined her advances because he was worried about their age gap. He's 36, she's 23. But he eventually acquiesced, and they eventually married. Look, I know the Hallmark Channel gets a lot of flack for its films, but I don't know if I've seen one where the driver runs over the bride-to-be. There is a new movie, though, that's based on this exact scenario. It stars Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. And the difference is she runs over him.
Okay.
And I'm now wondering, is that where they got the idea for the film, is from this Chinese couple? 36-year-old guy runs over this chick. She's in the hospital for weeks. And because he visits every day, she eventually falls in love with him. And now they're married. Oh,
23 and likes it rough.
36 with an extended warranty.
I like how you guys are picking up what I'm throwing down, because we're about to say some really shameful things in here about this story. Not the least of which is clearly they met by accident.
Oh, yeah. That was so bad. It was good.
You could say he really swept her off her feet. She fell head over heels. Dude, you're supposed to hit on her. And finally, he appears to have sideswiped right. I like how, Raj, you're backing away from your microphone as if you want to disassociate from the program, and Trey's shaking his head, going in negative judgment, thinking, I could be reading stories about the Pope.
The Black Pope.
The Black Pope.
All right, in all fairness, that's where I want to be now, too.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
For all things Treehouse, like Aaron said, go to our website, treehouseonair.com. That's treehouseonair.com. On our website, you can get past shows, links, contact info, and more when you visit our website, treehouseonair.com. Treehouseonair.com. Dan O'Malley, Trey Trenholm, Raj Sharma with you inside the Treehouse today. I was just thinking a little bit more about that story out of China where the young woman was run over by a guy. I got lost in my prepositions. I was just thinking about the story in China where a guy ran over a woman, and not only did she forgive him, but now they're married. And I couldn't help but think, if that same situation happened in Texas, would it be any different? Would they still fall in love? Would they still get married? Would Jim Adler officiate the wedding? Are you in love? Call me Jim Adler, the Texas Love Hammer. I'll put a husband in your pocket.
The Love Hammer. I like that. That's what I'm going to call it from now on.
Texas Love Hammer. All right, today is Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Let's celebrate with some birthdays. Madison Beer turns 25. How is that a real name? I guess Madison Beer is a singer. She's got singles on her debut album, Good and Goodbye, also Selfish. And she's got a song that apparently a number of people know called Hurts Like Hell. But name is Madison Beer, Beer, and she is 25 today. Okay. Has country music just completely leaned into everything? Like, is the next hot singer going to be Hey Bale?
With Madison Beer?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she was country. I don't know who that is.
I don't either. I'm just assuming she's country.
Yeah, that's just where I'm old now. I don't know. 25. She has no credibility in my eyes.
You don't know enough to sing about.
Yeah.
Turning 35 today. Is that 35? No, I'm sorry, 36. Turning 36 today is Jake Lloyd. He's the poor kid that played Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars The Phantom Menace. And man, that movie and the fallout from it, him up. He's just now coming out of that darkness.
Wow. Okay. So he just didn't get cast in anything else after that?
Ooh, you know why? He was terrible.
Oh, okay.
And I feel bad saying that. Go back and watch the movie. He was terrible. Now, let's keep in mind, it was probably not his fault. First of all, the writing was very poor. That's George Lucas's fault. Also, George Lucas directed it. And that's also kind of his fault. Not Jake Lloyd's fault. He was a cute kid. He's just very stiff as an actor.
The Phantom Menace, especially after the last 3 Star Wars movies, is not that bad. When's the last time you watched it?
It's been a minute. Usually when I go back and watch The Phantom Menace, I'm doing what most Star Wars nerds do. We just watch the last 15, 20 minutes and just get our lightsaber boners and go on about our day.
It was unfair. It was unfairly, harshly criticized because it was the first one after the original 3.
I never saw it.
I've
seen the original.
I hated it. I hated it at first as well, but then over time, and as bad as the last 3 were, it gave me new perspective. It is not a bad movie.
All right, I'm going to throw 2 words at you.
It's not even that bad of a character.
Jar Jar.
It's slightly annoying, but there have been far worse.
The Trade Federation guys who had the stereotypical Asian accents was not well received at that time. I don't know. You may be onto something. I will say, like, when the 3 recent Star Wars movies taken as a whole, all 3 of them, there is an argument as to which trilogy is worse. The newest trilogy or the middle trilogy. Everyone should agree across the board. The original trilogy is the tops, right? But the Phantom Menace and then the awkward love story of the second one between Padma and Anakin was just weird and dumb. You could tell George Lucas had rarely been with a girl the way he wrote that romance stuff. Ugh.
Well, remember, they were based on books that were already written.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just saying that storyline isn't all George Lucas.
That doesn't excuse. Go back and watch that second one where it's Anakin and Padme in the field. I swear to God, I think you can see Natalie Portman's soul leave her body in those scenes because, I mean, she is such a better actress than that.
I'm not saying there weren't bad parts, but now you're talking about the second one. And yes, like Anakin was a pussy, but as a whole, especially the Phantom Menace was really unfairly judged because it was the first movie after the original 3. And especially as you watch the crap of the last 3. And to me, it's not even close on the trilogies of which one is the bad one. Like there's the original 3 that we grew up on. Yep. There's 1, 2, and 3, which I'll give on a scale of 1 to 10, a 6.5. I'll give the first 3 a 9, 6.5. Then the last 3, a 3.
Yeah. After the most recent trilogy, I'm surprised George Lucas didn't come out of the hedge he's been hiding in and go, "You miss me?"
I'm just so glad that I'm not the nerd in this conversation. This is so fascinating to watch.
You're the nerd in the rest of the conversations, though. So, yeah, you better enjoy this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You can get more Treehouse when you subscribe to Treehouse Plus. That means bonus content, subscriber-only episodes, including video. Yeah, you can watch the show when you subscribe to Treehouse Plus. It's all available at patreon.com/treehouseonair. That's Patreon, Patreon, patreon.com/treehouseonair to subscribe to Treehouse Plus today. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma with you. Just a little bit more left inside the Treehouse before we close up today. I was very excited when I saw this on YouTube the other day, and Trey, I immediately thought of you. So I'm excited to see.
You setting yourself up for a strap-on joke, and then, man, you killed it when you said you thought of me.
I'm learning. I'm learning how to block and defend, both in the bedroom and in the treehouse. No, I saw a video recently, and I thought of you, Trey, and I thought, you know what, Trey would really appreciate this because, Trey, you're a single guy, and I know that you don't go out much on the prowl looking for women, looking for dates. So I want to do my part as your matchmaker here inside the treehouse. Okay. So I'm going to show you a video of a young woman, and there's the account that posted this is a photographer. He'll take photos of people and then print them out and then give them to them. It's very sweet, very wholesome. Until you see this, and I mean, it is sweet and wholesome, but I think, I think there's an opportunity here for you, Trey. All right, so here we go. This is a guy taking a photo of someone and then giving the photo to the person at an airport in Czechoslovakia. So he's taken a photo of a Czechoslovakian police officer holding a machine gun inside the airport. He takes her photo, she smiles, and then he leaves and prints the photo, and he comes back to the airport to give her the photo. Here she is. Hey, ma'am. Turn around. Here you go. Here's your photo. Oh. So, Trey, what do you think about the Czechoslovakian police officer at the airport? Is that your kind of woman? She looks to be, I don't want to say petite. I don't know how tall she is. I mean, she's probably like 5'5", let's say 5'6".
She's hot. She carries a gun. Let's see y'all.
Wait, did you say you'll see?
Going to Czechoslovakia to get arrested.
Trey, come back.
I'm going too.
Where are you going? Why are you going?
I'm going to be his accomplice.
All right. Well, call me when you guys get there. Oh, crap. They really left. All right. For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. You can find and follow us on social media at Treehouse On Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. For Trey, if you can find him, it's at Trey Trenholm 1. For Raj, thanks for at least waiting a few seconds, Raj. It's at Comedian Raj. We'll see you, I hope, tomorrow right here inside the Treehouse. Or maybe Trey will be in Czechoslovakia. We'll see. Bye.